Enough! Enough already. I've had enough. Enough is enough. I'm not enough. As an executive coach and leadership development consultant for over 30 years, I've met many people who are my clients who have felt that. They've expressed feelings of inadequacy, of not being ready for the next step, of feeling that they're not ready, that they're just not enough. They have imposter syndrome. There's a lot being asked from them regarding their home lives, family lives, work lives. Maybe it's a new job, maybe it's a new role in the family, but they just don't feel like they're ready to take it on. And research has shown, multiple studies have shown that there are 70 to 80% of us who feel this way, who feel that we're not enough. We yearn for the status quo. We don't want things to change. We're comfortable. We know our strengths, and we want to continue using our strengths to succeed to what life has already brought us to, the success that we've already achieved. Unfortunately, there are many things in life that require us to access more strengths, more insights, more energies, and we feel like we don't have access to them. And that's because we look all around us and we see what's going on with social media. We see influencers on their private jets, taking selfies on tropical shores with the palm trees and their drinks in their hands, and we're thinking, where's my private jet? Where's my vacation in the tropics with my margarita in hand, right? So we're comparing ourselves, always comparing ourselves to these things which oftentimes are not real, and we feel bad. So there are many things that we can do to fix this, because I am going to challenge you to think and explore within you that you already have all the resources and the strengths within you to survive and thrive in any challenge that life has to throw at you. And I believe in that. I want you to think of yourself as a Swiss Army knife. Think of yourself as the casing of a Swiss Army knife. Now, a Swiss Army knife has many tools within it. Most of them go unused, right? We have a Swiss Army knife, and we use it for its main function, which is usually the main blade. Maybe every once in a while we'll think, oh yeah, there's a toothpick in there too, let me grab that out, because I need it. Or tweezers, sometimes the scissors, maybe the screwdriver. But there are so many other tools in here that we don't use. And this is the same situation as with human beings. We have a favorite tool, whatever that tool may be, whatever our superpower, whatever our strength has been that's brought us to where we are today, and we continue to rely on that. Whatever the situation is in front of us, we are using that tool over and over again. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to introduce to you a couple different frameworks that can show you that you have many different resources within you. Now, your main blade in your Swiss Army knife is going to correlate to your core motivation, which is part of a system called the Enneagram. The Enneagram is an ancient system that really identifies that there are 9 different core motivations that human beings have. Each of us has this core motivation throughout our entire lives. Yet, there are 8 other energies and resources that are available to us from all of the other types of the Enneagram that we oftentimes don't access at all. Sometimes because we don't realize it. Just like with the Swiss Army knife, we may not know that they're in that casing, or we may not know what they do. And we don't have time to start exploring because there's another TikTok dance to learn, right? So, I want you to select along with me. I'm going to make it really simple and break it down into 3 different sets of 3. So I'm not going to inundate you with 9. But there are 3 different thinking styles. So select your thinking style from these 3. So do you think objectively? Do you gather information in? You want to make it make sense. You want to be able to predict what's going to happen because you want to show up as confident, as able to handle any situation. You don't want to look foolish. So that's what you're doing. You're taking the positive, the negative, you're coming up with these frameworks, and you're preparing so that you don't look foolish. Or do you focus on the negative because you're really concerned about the dangers that are out there? Do you always have a backup plan? So you're always making a contingency plan in case the danger happens so that you can put that plan in action and be safe, comfortable, and secure. Or do you take the opposite approach and forget about all the negative, all the bad stuff? It's not going to happen. Everything's going to come out roses. Everything's going to be positive. Let's look at all the good stuff that can happen, all the opportunities. So believe it or not, each one of us is going to select one of those three as our core thinking style, right? That means that there are two others out there that other people are using. Now, if we go on to our heart center, our feeling style, there are three different ways that we access that. So we can feel by always looking to see the needs of others, really suppressing our own needs. Basically people-pleasing, right? We're out there people-pleasing, intuitively knowing what other people want and need and providing it to them, whether they asked for it or not. That's where you get into trouble. Or the other option is, do you realize that there are feelings and emotions? However, they're going to get in the way of achieving those goals. So let's push them down, let's deal with them later, or maybe never at all. That may not work all the time. The last way of accessing your heart center is through all the feelings. So basically, I feel, therefore I am. I feel my feelings, I feel everyone else's feelings, there's true empathy. So you're seeing that all these different styles have different superpowers, and we have all of them within us. Finally, we take action through our gut, our body center. And we either take immediate action because we see something that needs to get done and we jump into it and do it and we execute on it, sometimes involving other people. And if it's the wrong direction, that's okay, we'll just course correct and we'll get to the right direction. Or, if I take action, that could cause conflict. So maybe I don't want to take action right away. Let's get everyone's opinion on this. Let's democratically vote on this and see. I just want to make sure everyone's included and I'm not ruffling any feathers because I don't want conflict. The final way to take action is putting it through the filter of doing the right thing. So what are my morals? What are my values? What is really important to me? Are there rules already? Are there precedents? So let's look at that, and we'll take action according to what's already in existence. So those are the three different ways to take action, and each one of us will take action by default through one of these different ways. So we each have a thinking style, a feeling style, and an action style. And obviously other people may have similar ones to us or totally different ones from us. Where we get into trouble is the golden rule, something that has been taught to us in many different ways. So religion teaches it to us, our parents teach it to us, our guardians teach it to us, school teaches it to us, and it basically tells us that we treat others the way that we want to be treated. Which could work, it would work 100% of the time if everyone were exactly the same. Everyone is not exactly the same. I think we figured that out. And we don't necessarily know how they feel or what they want or what their motivations are or what their interests are, what their ideologies are. And the only way to figure that out is by basically crossing the bridge over into the platinum rule. And the platinum rule tells us that we should treat others the way that they want to be treated, which is a little more difficult because then you have to engage with people and talk to them and build relationships and figure out how they want to be treated. So this would all be well and good, but we need to do something with that platinum rule, right? And the following rule is the rhodium rule. If we integrate that, because the reality is what we are comfortable with in ourselves from the golden rule, those three styles that you chose, one in each of those different centers, the platinum rule is going to tell us that maybe there's those other areas to explore as well. And then what we start seeing is that maybe some of those are within us already. And how do we integrate those so that we show up at our best selves possible? And that's going to help us to be able to survive and thrive in any type of situation where we have a next chapter in our lives, where we need a new tool, a new strength, a new instrument. I would then like to introduce you to the Activate framework, which shows you this. When you feel a discomfort, when you feel something is just not quite right, when something is foreign to you, that becomes an awareness. That's the A in the Activate. So you become aware of something that's different, and our first response is always to, it's foreign, it's an other, let me compartmentalize it. Let's just put this in this compartment over here. I don't know quite what yet to do with this. Once you get a little bit more exposure to it, and you see that it's not a threat, then you start to gain tolerance. So we have the awareness, we have the compartmentalization for the C, and we have the tolerance for the T. Once you start getting even more exposure to it and see that maybe, I may have access to this inside myself, right? So you identify that it is within you. So you integrate it into you. I see its value with the V. There's a value to this that I can engage in. I can learn from it. So once I get this value and I can accept it within myself, that's the A, and then I can treat it with compassion, with grace, with kindness. So what I want to do is then I want to engage this, embrace it, and use it and execute on it in the future. That is the Activate framework. So whenever you feel this discomfort, go ahead and reach within yourself, go through the whole Activate framework, see where that value is within you. It's all one of those 9 Enneagram styles. And each of the values and strengths and superpowers associated with those Enneagram styles are going to help you be enough. Realize the enoughness that you already are. You are enough already. And you can use the Activate framework to become the fully functional self that you are. Thank you.